Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
And a happy cold Tuesday to everybody out there. Hopefully tuned in and ready to rock and roll. 2 solid hours of the Young and Norvelle Show. Terry Norvelle. Trenton Torsia, he's our baseball guy, but he's a Renaissance man. He knows all about sports. Trenton will sit in with us as we kick around a bunch of topics today. Hopefully Patrick Young a little bit later. Pat, of course, traveling. He does Tuesday, Wednesday, SEC Network studio basketball work. And, of course, he'll be on both halftimes tonight and tomorrow. And we'll do some trivia a little bit later. Mr. Torsia, this big boy cold out here now. It's a little bit different, isn't it?
Kind of a different kind of cold. And we were just talking about it pre-show. The temperature's not that cold, but that air sure is.
Yeah.
And we got the cold stuff coming.
And you mentioned it's like 44, I think, is the car temperature. And we get 44. But this is that vortex winter blizzard 44. It feels different.
Feels like 24 maybe or something.
It does.
It's certainly cold.
It does, but we'll bang through it here. On a serious note, I know schools have officially been canceled, right? At least Duval
for
County
tomorrow.
Public, and I would imagine all the private schools are following suit. So school has been canceled. I got a big email, so most people have, but if you haven't, I just wanted to get that little PSA so you can start planning if you're picking up kids or whatever. You might go ahead and tell them, hey, we ain't bringing them tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know? And the other concern, we talked before we got on the air here, we are the city of bridges, and there's a good chance, I think, tonight, this evening, there'll be an announcement saying city officials are probably going to encourage people to go ahead and shut it down tomorrow, employers and employees and things like that. And Trent, the issue with that is if you don't, particularly if you've got small kids, you don't want to get caught on one side of the bridge and your house is on the other, or your kids and then it gets shut down. And then, so I think our city has to err on the side of caution a little more, wouldn't you say, with so many bridges?
Because, number one, we don't have the preparation to clean it up. And number two, it doesn't take much, a little bit of precipitation, and I think it's like 3 hours of below freezing temperatures to ice over.
Is that right?
Yeah, because the bridges are so thin.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing you want.
And a lot of them,
and the latest advisory said our worst chance of conditions at this point are like 7:30 to 9:30 tomorrow morning.
In the morning.
Yeah, so that's the commute.
All right, I wouldn't mind staying in bed from 7:30 to 9:30. There's a reason I'm in bed.
Listen, I'll
tell you one thing.
I'm not rolling.
Tell you one thing, Sweet Penny, my dog, she'd be more than happy if we don't go out or if we hang in until about 9:30 in the morning. Definitely. All right, we got a lot to get to today on the program. Big game last night we want to talk about. Bittersweet for me and guys like you. We love college football. Bittersweet right now. The season wrapped up last night. Ohio State, Trent, they've got the most talent. They are loaded with talent. They didn't play to their talent level all year. It probably took a Michigan loss in a weird way to shake Ohio State up. I don't think Ohio State wins the national title if they beat Michigan in that game. I think they would still be sleepwalking a little bit. They needed that loss in a weird way.
Isn't that crazy? So first year of the 12-team playoff, they're not even in if it's 4 teams.
Yeah.
Right? So
probably not.
You look at it from that standpoint. Now, I can give you 20 million reasons why Ohio State's pretty darn good.
Well, they are. Well, they're loaded.
Well, $20 million payroll, too. So
and, I'm glad you brought that up. I hear some people throwing that out. Well, they bought a championship. Well, yeah, it's called pro sports. I mean, I have no problem. Dude, what do you mean they bought it? You don't think New England bought Super Bowl championships and Dallas in the day? I mean, everybody that says, well, they should have won it, they got a $20 million payroll. Well, the industry they're in is called professional sports. Professional football.
It's gone. The amateurism is gone. I always go back to when you and I and Brent Baird did 2 hours worth of just NIL.
Yes, I remember it well.
And we talked about what it's going to do.
Remember it well.
How does it benefit? How does it not? And we don't need to go down that path. I get it, but it's an ugly situation. And they're going to look at that and go, I'm telling you, from where I went to school, I get texts, emails all the time. NIL Foundation is looking for money to pay athletes. And anyway, but they're very good. Ohio State, they're skill position players. And I think we're different level.
And I agree. They're really talented. Ohio State is the closest that I've seen to the modern day SEC powerhouses. Alabama and see Georgia. When not last year's Georgia or Alabama, they were stepped back, but that Ohio State team, and it's always been that way. Ohio State has always, anybody out there the last 30 years not named an SEC school, Ohio State's always been the closest.
Yeah.
You go, man, Ohio State, those lines of scrimmage look like the SEC. Those skill guys look like the SEC.
Yeah, didn't they beat one year? They beat Florida, right? And then so, no, you're right about that. And it's speed and it's power.
No, they've never. When did they beat Florida?
I thought they beat.
Florida beat them for the national title.
Okay, then I've got it backwards.
Yeah,
but
you watch your filthy mouth.
Well,
man. Them rolling in here with a state shirt on anyway, Mississippi State.
But no factor.
No factor. Last night's game. Let's stay with this. I've heard some people just kind of, and I want your thoughts. I'm going to give my thoughts and give an analogy. You do what you want to do with it. Notre Dame's the first possession of the ball game. Notre Dame takes the ball, 18 plays, 10-ish minutes, straight down the field. They get in the end zone, and Riley Leonard has like 9 rushes. They're all of them, I think, positive yardage, capped by the rush into the end zone. I've heard people say, well, why the hell didn't they just keep doing that over and over again? Let me give you a theory, and I want you to address what we're talking about.
Okay.
That was a bit of fool's gold, that first drive. It reminded me, I'm going to give you 2 analogies. Me, you, and 6 other guys are lined up to run a mile race. The gun's going to go off. The clock's going to go. First one that goes 4 laps around the track, right? We're going to do that kind of 4 laps around the track, and who can run it the fastest? Gun goes off, and you take off and go as fast as you can. You are in the lead. You're taking off. You've got a huge. You are sprinting, going as hard as you can. Lap 1. You get around to lap 1. You complete lap 1. You've probably got a 50-yard lead. You can't sustain that. You're done. You're done. You can't sustain that, and the pack catches up with you, and you can't do that lap 2, lap 3, lap 4. Another example, boxing match. Ding, ding, bell rings, okay? 12-round boxing match. You come out against me, and you are a whirling dervish. You are throwing and punching. You throw 200 punches in the first round. You land, man. You win round 1. You can't sustain that. And Ohio State, to me, they know Riley Leonard likes that quarterback power. I don't think Ohio State did anything to try and schematically stop it. They said, you know what? We're going to punish your quarterback. If you run him, good luck running him 18, 20, 25 times.
Yeah.
And his first drive, 9 carries, he was punished. Can't sustain that. Thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, to that point, they were all up the middle. Mm-hmm. Short yardage. You're going to get banged 2 or 3 times.
You are.
So with the analogies, if you land the 1 punch in the first round as a boxer, you might win. If you land the first punch in a football game,
you're up 7-0.
You're up 7-0.
And there's still a long way to go. That's a great point, too. Great point.
So you look at that and you go,
it's a great point.
All right, Ohio State answers right back. Then things calm down a little bit. What Ohio State did not do is they didn't panic.
Absolutely.
I felt like they sat there.
Well said.
We've got this. We're under control.
Well said.
Everything's going to be all right. Forget the adversity, because that Michigan loss brought that team together. I had no idea. When I listened to the post-game interviews and some interviews on the radio today, that rallied them.
It did. It absolutely did.
Because of the disgusting things that happened to Ryan Day and his family,
the way
and
they treated
some of the players and stuff. It's
a lot of the fringe fan base. That's not every guy in Ohio State Buckeye fandom, but yeah, he put up with some stuff.
Yeah,
put up with some
stuff.
stuff.
Like he even said, losing to Michigan is one of the worst things that's
Yeah.
ever happened to his family. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Taking it, that's some fans are taking it too far.
No doubt.
If that's true, the correlation I used last week as we were seeing Ohio State use that Michigan loss as motivation, I used it with Brent Beard. I'll bring it back to the Gators, the program I know the best. Florida's first ever national championship was 1996. They were undefeated. Florida State was undefeated. The regular season finale that year was in Tallahassee, and it was 1-2. Florida State, Bowden and Spurrier, the two best teams in the country, period. Mm-hmm. Probably, I've said, it's in Tallahassee. I'm at the game. I'm covering the game in the press box. To this day, the best college football game I've witnessed in person. Just hammers were thrown. FSU won the game 24-21.
Yeah.
They upset Florida. Now, it was 1-2, but a crushing loss for Florida. Crushing loss. Back and forth. Great game, 24-21. 26, 30 guys played in the NFL on both teams. Just a wonderful football game. Two heavyweights going at it. Crushing loss for Florida. Spurrier, Warfel, all those guys. Things played out in the SEC championship game and the Big 12 championship game. Things played out. Florida won. They had to go beat Alabama the following week.
I know.
After or Arkansas. So they had to go win the SEC after that crushing loss. And it looked like that. That was back when there were only two. Two got selected to go play for the game. So you were out for all practice. You couldn't lose a game, basically.
Yeah.
You're basically out. Things fell. Nebraska got, who was it? Texas beat Nebraska. Arizona State got beat. Beat Arizona State, or Ohio State beat Arizona State and Jake Plummer. So a couple fell. Florida had to go win. They did. Damn if they didn't go play FSU again. Winner wins the national title. Florida probably needed that loss because it made Spurrier go to the shotgun. Sometime a loss, you don't know it at the time. That Michigan loss won the national title for Ohio State. I'm convinced of it this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to disagree with. And you still have people saying you got to beat the rival. Well, not anymore with the new, like normally when you lose to the rival, you're out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, think about, we don't have to get into seeding and all that, but the 7 and 8 seed played for the national championship.
How about that?
And you look at that, you go, you're not even in a 4-teamer the way that it's seeded out.
I'll tell you the other beautiful thing, and this is beautiful because what I'm going to bring up has bit every one of you, and I'm talking to you out there if you're a Michigan fan, Gator fan, Georgia fan, FSU fan, Ohio State fan, whoever. The other beautiful thing about Ohio State winning it, they won the national title last night with 2 losses. There's days go by, forget it. You don't even get near to sniff it. You can go win a national title with 2, and somebody's going to win it with 3, particularly when it expands. A 3-loss team is going to get in. The millisecond it goes to 14-16, a 3-loss team is going to get in.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to get hot like March Madness and win the damn thing with a 9. They're going to jump in there at 9-3, and they'll be the 12th seed, and they'll go get hot.
Well, yeah, because the other thing that's happening with that is you're playing a tougher schedule now because that does factor in
yes, it does.
To where you get ranked if you don't win your conference championship. So it's like, I'm no longer going to play the smaller schools that we can beat up on, as the 42-point favorite or something. So it's like, well, now my out-of-conference game is going to be non-rival game.
Yeah.
If it is like a Clemson, South Carolina sort of scenario, my out-of-conference game is going to be in Iowa or something like that.
Yeah.
And so that makes it even tougher, but it also adds to, I just lost that game, but it wasn't a conference game.
Wow.
So we're still okay
to
end up in Atlanta, if you're SEC or whatever.
Brad makes a good point about the game last night. Said the fake punt last night and the Notre Dame doink one off the upright, right? Yeah. And the missed field goal. Boy, that they couldn't make up for that. Brad says that's absolutely true. It was pretty apparent. Notre Dame needed to cash in on opportunities. Notre Dame wasn't. Yeah. Notre Dame played great ball the second half of the season, and they got hot and they got believing in themselves. But Notre Dame was nowhere near the better team last night. If they were to pull the upset, that field goal had to go in, and that fake punt probably had to hit.
So, well, here's the other point. Go back to the 4th and goal. Do you kick the field goal there?
Yeah.
That was the one thing I thought. I mean, missed field goals, they do happen.
Yeah.
Fake punt, that made zero sense to me. I mean,
I didn't love that.
I agree. No, I agree with Brad on that.
Way deep in their territory too. Remember where it was at?
No, they were on like the 25-yard line or something.
I didn't love that at all.
It made zero sense.
The guy probably should have caught it. Been a tough catch, right? He was prone kind of, but I didn't like that call at all. And that's one of those, if he catches that, gets a first down, and they score a touchdown, I still would have said, sometimes bad calls work out, and sometimes good calls don't work out. I'm a firm believer in that. But that was bad time.
Remember how that play unfolded, too. The offense was on the field for an extended period of time, and we thought, okay, they're going to go for it, which, by the way, would have made more sense than a fake punt.
Sure.
And then the offense rushes off the field. You rush the punt team on.
Yeah.
Maybe, we're going to catch Ohio State off guard. Well,
and that kind of,
you might have, but you're, and I said this out loud to myself because I was watching the game by myself, but I'm like, you just asked your punter, to throw whatever it was, a 7-yard pass.
Well, no, that was just, they snapped it to the up guy.
I thought it was a punter.
No, they snapped it, and that was their backup quarterback. But they put that in Angelini or whatever. It was the up guy. He caught it. He went, but still, a guy right off the bench, cold as ice.
Yeah. Even though you're in a dome, you're still.
And Notre Dame has had great success with the rushing the special team on. They bit. Was it Texas? They bit somebody. Rushing.
Yeah, with a fake punt too.
Yeah, rushing the team. Or Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia, I think they rushed. They pulled the punt team off and ran the offense on, and Georgia jumped. They didn't even have to snap the play. I think that's what Notre Dame wanted last night too. The first goal was, hey, get them Ohio State all Jimmy excited, and they're going to jump, but they didn't. So another thing, Ohio State's coaching staff on offense impressed me with the last 2 games. Think about the last 2. Go back 3 games. Jeremiah Smith was unguardable. He caught 12 passes, whatever, man, just put on a show. He was an athlete man among boys. Well, Texas, I think it was Texas. All the games are jumbling up. Texas kind of bracketed him. They kind of had a safety. Even in zone, they kind of always had 2 guys on him. They took him out of the game. But I thought Ohio State's coaching staff, and last night Notre Dame did that to a degree. They kind of took him out of the game. Ohio State, the last 2 games, with Smith being strategically taken out of the game, Ohio State didn't force feed him. And sometimes you force it and incomplete, you're forcing it. They didn't force it because they know they had great other players. I mean, Abuka's as good as anybody.
No, they have like 4.
Cornell Tate is
NFL.
as good as anybody. Those backs are receivers. They didn't force it the last 2 games. They said, we know what chess move y'all are going to make. We're going to have a counter. They didn't. And remember, the best play of the night to put the game away, Smith did get loose for about that 60-yard catch.
Well, and that was the thing that play late in the game that pretty much sealed it was cover 0. Why are you going cover 0?
I know.
And I don't know if Will Howard read that or not, but I mean, you look at that, you go, he's open 7 yards.
Yeah.
You could say any points a key point in the game, and I get all that, but you stop them there. Momentum's in your favor, and then
you're down 8 at that point,
right?
Not 11. They ended up kicking a field goal to really make it a 2-score. Yeah, you're down 8 with momentum.
Yeah,
with momentum.
And it wasn't it. I can't remember down in distance. I want to say it might have been 3rd and 11.
Ooh.
And then you go cover 0.
Oh,
so you're really just you're gambling, and they couldn't get to the quarterback consistently. I didn't agree. And Notre Dame's strategy is man coverage, and every football expert said you can't go man coverage against Ohio State.
They got a lot of good receivers that win a lot of one-on-ones. Somebody's going to win, right?
They have 4 NFL guys, bona fide NFL guys.
It's tough, man. If you're Ohio State, you can keep your quarterback upright, and you send those 3 out. You send those 3 out, and if they're all 3 man to man, they're probably one of those guys is probably going to win their battle.
Yeah.
right? They're going to win their battle.
He's got to go through your progression or whatever. And I thought you made a great point about Smith, because it's like that's the guy that can't. You go, this guy can't beat us.
Yeah.
And then you isolate him, and if you're Chip Kelly, who like the guy or not, he's an offensive genius, and he's like,
yeah,
like the old professor's going, this is what we're going to do. And by the way, we'll save one chip or one trump card
hold it,
for the end of the game or whatever. It was
it's
the
almost
most strategic point to do it.
Almost in a weird way, holding your 2-point play. Just keep that one little play that we've never shown that we can, if I need it to get 2 points, you go get it. So Ohio State wins it. Big Ten back-to-back. Michigan, Ohio State, Big Ten back-to-back. That's nice. And again, I like the fact that are there some holes? This is the first 12-team playoff. The first time college football's had a very long football tournament. It lasted a month. January 20th was the end of it. It started December 20th. There are some holes, all right? Do you reseed? I would rather just go straight to 16 instead of stopping at 14. The other big hole, and this is a big hole, and this can be massaged, but it's going to be hard for the committee to decide in NCAA. There were too many dead periods between December 20th and January 20th. Hell, this game, they didn't play for 12 days. It lost momentum a couple times. The college playoff, including the championship game, I think lost momentum. Too dead. It was too down. It was too much downtime. Too much.
Well, and you're bleeding into the NFL playoffs too. So it's like
one thing that kills the college game, and I think they're going to have to get away from it to keep from the downtime. College football, and this is Rose Bowl induced. The Rose Bowl still has power. You say what you want. They still have influence. The Sugar Bowl and the Fiesta and the Cotton. The Rose Bowl has a lot of power. It's the granddaddy of them all. The Rose Bowl is the Notre Dame equivalent of bowls. It's got some panache.
Mm-hmm.
The Rose Bowl, through everything we've had, Bowl Alliance, Bowl Coalition, remember all that? Yeah. 2 teams, and it went to 4. And then the Rose Bowl has been adamant. They historically have played their granddaddy of them all, agree or not. That's what they call themselves, and that's what it's accepted. They historically have played their beautiful Rose Bowl game on January 1st at 5 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. Okay. And they want that. Well, what that does is it screws up your calendar because January 1st doesn't fall the same time. It moves.
Correct.
It's not tied to the first. Thanksgiving is the last Thursday in November.
Yeah.
Right. So because it moved, January 1st was on a Wednesday this year. Christmas and New Year's were on a Wednesday. So the Rose Bowl, and that kind of forced all that, whatever round that was, they played on Wednesday. Well, then you immediately got to go all the way. You can't play the next Monday. You got to loop all the way back around.
Yeah.
They need to get away from chasing that date. I'm sorry, Rose Bowl. Quit chasing the date.
Guess what? The Rose Bowl has said not just no.
Yeah, hell no.
But hell no.
I agree. And the other bowls and the committees and all, they're wanting to be respectful. I get it. It's almost like, and you saw the president of Notre Dame came out yesterday or today and said, yeah, we we still want to stand by our independence, and we don't feel like we want to entertain joining a conference as a full-fledged member. Well, that's not Notre Dame's decision as much as the rest of college football. All college football, the rest of college football lets Notre Dame do that. College football could go, okay, Notre Dame. No, let me back up. College football could say, listen, guys, we want to get Notre Dame in a conference. We think it's fair and equitable for everybody. We think it's not fair right now. They don't want to join us. Well, here's what we do. Don't schedule them.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't schedule them. They have nobody to play. Notre Dame will schedule you, but you have to get it in the conference. College, I love when I start talking to a fan and that Notre Dame independence comes up. Notre Dame's terrible. They got to get it. It's not fair. I hate Notre Dame for that. They got to get in the conference. They. And I'll let the guy rant, and I'll go, well, who do you blame? Well, Notre Dame. So why do you blame Notre Dame? All they're doing is what the rest of college football is allowing them to do.
They're flexing their muscles and they're letting them do it.
You should be mad at the SEC and the Big Ten and the ACC. They let them do that. You shouldn't be mad at Notre Dame one bit. They got to get in the well, until they have to. They think it's the easiest path for them. Of course they're going to take the easiest path they think until they're forced, right?
Yeah.
People get so mad at Notre Dame. Why are you mad at Notre Dame?
It's not their fault.
It is not their fault. It is not their fault. All right, let's take a break. We'll keep this topic going, obviously, big game all day long. I want to get back to, and this is going to be, it's going to come off like, is Terry bashing the Jaguars? I'm not bashing the Jaguars, but let's talk about Ben Johnson and the Jaguar Open. And do you really think that was legit? We'll talk about that and a whole lot more. Off and Running Tuesday. He's Trenton Corship. I'm Terry Norvelle. Much like Brad did, if you are, however you're consuming the show, you should have a chat portion, and you can drop us a question, comment, thought. We'll try to read those as we go. One down, a long way to go. Coming back, the Young and Norvelle Show live from Hurricane in Jointon Green.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Okay, we're back live at Hurricanes. You know it, in Jointa Creek, deep in the heart of Mandarin. Boy, what a Trey! You've been coming here a long time. It's kind of your hangout. Your family comes here to. They do a little bit of everything here, right? You can come here with the fellas and just get rowdy, have fun watching ball. The family can come up here. It's a corner. There's an outside. Great food. 30,000 different flavors of wings. This place rocks.
It does, and I've been coming here since it opened. I don't live that far from here, and it's like on weekends and like during the day, during games and stuff. It's very family oriented. You see a lot of like, oh, they had a soccer game on a Saturday afternoon and line up 4 tables and you know, now you're serving 22 people or whatever.
Got a little outdoor if you want to choose that route. Obviously, it's cold now.
But they do heat it. They have tarps too, or whatever.
They've got the drop down the walls with the clear walls. It's like Sliders has on their patio. I had a business meeting here last Tuesday. They wanted to meet on Tuesday afternoons. They haven't had Hurricane, so we'll meet over there. So 2 people I met with. We all ate and had a little meeting, and one of the guys he ordered wings and he ordered a bunch because he wanted to take some home, right? So he looked and when the server came back, he goes, "Yeah, I'll take like 15 or whatever, just mild." And I was like, "Dude, they've got 32 flavors, I think it is, of sauces that you can pick here at Hurricane Jointa Creek." And he just goes mild.
Dry wings, wet wings, jerk wings. I mean, as hot as you want to go. But
All right. I know it's not 5:30 when we do our Tuesday trivia, but I'm going to throw kind of a trivia out. Okay. To you, or it's just kind of a, why am I bitter today? Why is Terry Norvelle sad with regard to the number 214? Why am I sad?
I thought about this on the way over here, and I know the.
Why am I sad? And I am.
Hey, you talk about a layup. This is more than a layup. This is a slam dunk, man.
What if you miss it though?
I'm not gonna miss
what if
it.
all this build up and you miss it?
I'm not gonna miss it.
Terry's sad.
Terry's sad.
Terry's sad today around the number 214.
I'm sad too. College football is over, and
you got it.
What do you do to fill the void?
214 short days until the great game of college football kicks off again.
That's a long time.
214 days. Oh, my goodness. And guys like me and you try everything. You try during the off season, you try to fool yourself and fake yourself and go, well, I mean, March Madness is around. Love March Madness.
Of course.
The Masters is going to roll around, and the NFL draft is going to roll around, and Major League Baseball gets going, pitchers and catchers, and you tell yourself this, and I may slide out for a vacation somewhere, that'll help, but you know what? I've learned over the years, and you've learned over the years, to get back to college football season, it's going to be a grind. It's going to feel like forever. It's going to have to get hotter than hell. We're cold right now. Think about it. We got to go through the beautiful spring and then that oppressive heat.
Yeah.
Dead summer, dog days of summer. If you can just get to the 4th of July, if we can just get to the 4th of July.
I mean, you do have a little teaser with a spring game, right? The
spring football
game, but
and the portal will open again in April, so there'll be movement and all. But
but everything you mentioned,
days.
Major League Baseball, 162 games.
Yeah.
College football once a week.
Yeah.
So you that's what you do. Even a casual fan's like, I could watch a ball game on Saturday.
Yeah.
You and I watch 7.
Yes, exactly.
But everybody else might, the common person
boy.
might watch 1.
Oh.
Hockey takes a long time. Basketball takes a long
Yeah.
time. So it's like,
And
there's a lot of monotony there.
and guys like you and I'm speaking for you because I've known you a long time. I dig college baseball. I can watch college baseball, and that's in the off season. I dig college softball. I'll catch those Friday night games when you've got that damn SEC and it's number 4 Alabama against number 2 Georgia and all that. Man, it's great, but it's still just you got to grind it out. Now I'm going to take up golf again. I haven't played a round of golf. I'm telling you, I've been threatening this for a couple of years. I hadn't played a round of golf in at least 20 years, and I love golf. I just got away from the game. I'm going to take up golf. Will that help me burn some weekends, maybe, or a weekend? Yeah,
I mean it's a nice relaxing day, and you don't have to
money though.
It does cost money.
We need a golf course sponsor is what we need.
The problem is it's not getting any less expensive either.
Yeah.
So it's like the best time to play is during the week.
Sure.
Because the weekend prices go up.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of golf, I know you're a left-handed hitter. Are you a right-handed golfer?
Right-handed golfer.
Come on.
I absolutely. Right-handed golfer. The only thing I do left-handed is hit a baseball. Damnedest thing though, Trent. Damnedest thing. Okay, let's say I'm at the plate right here. I'm pitcher's there, home plate's here. I'm left-handed. I'm in the left-handed box. I'm left-hander. Nothing in the world is more natural than that to me. Nothing. If you take my hands and teed up a golf ball, put a left-handed club in my hand, I couldn't make contact. Switch me around right-handed down here, I can crush a golf ball. Right-handed feels natural. I don't think I could hit a baseball right. I try to switch. It's weird. I'm cross-wired. And a lot of people would agree with that.
I'm trying to digest that because
I don't know. You take my hands, put them below my waist. That I don't even know if I can make contact. But I was a great contact baseball left-handed batter.
Because one of my sons.
But you flip me around to hit. It's a Terry play golf. Right-handed feels as natural as can be.
That's because one of my sons hits a baseball left-handed
I ain't right,
and hits
boys.
a golf ball left-handed. Now I'm lefty all the way through.
Yeah, and you're kind of a lefty weirdo too.
One of those flake jobs. There's no question.
Hat never was. You've never had your hat on straight.
No, it was never straight. Pants were baggy. All that stuff. And I was probably.
Could you hit? You were a pitcher, but when you hit as a high schooler or little leaguer,
okay,
could you hit?
As a little leaguer, I could hit.
Okay.
But when I got to high school, they said, "Here's the deal. You could. We were 10 through 12.
Yeah, back in the
day. We didn't have ninth grade.
Here.
And as a 10th grader, they said, you can play varsity, but you don't hit, or you can play JV. Yeah. You could do both. And I said, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm not a very good hitter.
Yeah. Show me the.
So I dropped it, after ninth grade or whatever, and that was it.
All right, let's switch it. Jaguars. Every offseason, generally there's 5 or 6 or 7 NFL open jobs. Same this year. And every offseason, there's a pool of 6 or 7 names. Sometimes there's 1 or 2 former coaches, 3 or 4 former coaches trying to land another job. Mm-hmm. They've already been a head coach. And then there's 3 or 4 hot coordinators. And that's the pool. So you've got the pool of open jobs and the pool of coaches to choose from, basically. Ben Johnson was this year's A1. Right, Ben Johnson it was understood he's the coveted one if you could handpick one, right?
Well, he was hot last year, by the way.
Yeah. So he ends up going with the Bears, right? Broke yesterday. Mm-hmm. He's going to Chicago, the Bears, and a lot of the talk today, the Jaguars, and they couldn't get him because of bulky and this that. Did you ever think Ben Johnson and the Jaguars were in serious negotiation? I never in a million years think Jacksonville had a shot at Ben Johnson.
Well, I think Ben Johnson squashed it immediately. I'm not going to work for the GM.
I don't even think if they had the world's greatest GM, I don't think Ben Johnson was coming to Jacksonville. The hot one guy, I think, is coming to Jacksonville. Jacksonville doesn't get to pick the A-listers. It's just the way it is with this franchise.
Well, so what's the appeal in Chicago then?
Jacksonville has really never had sustained. There's the ownership. There's real questions now about Shad Khan's football acumen. Football, a very smart man, very rich man, very
successful
smart man,
businessman,
but not a football guy. The Bears, we looked it up and I've got it. The Bears, they picked 10th unless they rock and roll and make some trades. So the Jaguars are 5th, right? The Bears picked 10th. The Bears have right now, without any moving, this is at the end of the season, the Bears have $66 million in cap space, which is only 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 5th most. Jaguars have 17, or they're number 17. They picked 5th, they're number 17 with 40. I contend, and this sucks for Jacksonville, but I don't know if it's ever going to change. Jacksonville doesn't get to pick from the A list when it comes to coaches. There's 2 exceptions that the Jaguars have, in my opinion, got to pick from the A list. When the franchise was born, they and Charlotte came in, and the NFL had not expanded since 76.
right?
So when you're one of the 2, the Jaguars, I think that higher, and they went with Coughlin, they got the pick from the A list. So did the Panthers. They hadn't expanded. That was a big deal. They hadn't expanded since 76.
Right.
It's 93.
Yeah.
That time, and the only other time the Jaguars, and this is just cold, hard truth, the only other time the Jaguars get to pick something from the A list is if they get the first pick in the first round, which they did a couple of times. That's the only time.
Yeah.
That's the only time. I don't think Ben Johnson ever would come here. Jacksonville is the least desirable franchise in the league. I don't think there's.
In Jacksonville,
Can you dispute that, or
it's hard to dispute, but
Yeah.
like there's rumors every year of Jacksonville moving out of the country.
Yeah.
That doesn't help.
Doesn't help. That new stadium, I think, quelled that though. I mean, that stadium tethers the Jaguars to Jacksonville now. I think for a good 30 years, right? A good 30 years. It's just, and I also, along the same lines, to try and drive home the point, I'm not bashing. I'm a Jacksonville native. I also think some of it has to do. Jacksonville geographically can work against the Jaguars, and I'll use when you look up, if you go that way, there's Atlanta and there's Charlotte. If you go that way, there's New Orleans and all these sexy places, right? You go this way, there's Orlando, Tampa, Miami.
Yeah.
And I'll correlate it from if the city of Jacksonville said, man, we want to get in this convention business, man. Companies come from all over the world. There's money. Ask Orlando, ask New Orleans. Jacksonville's geographic location, they're just stymied. All these sexy girls are around them.
Yeah.
Nobody sees Jacksonville with their pretty face on. It's just a tough. I think the same way with the franchises. The number one hot Jacksonville, 30 years into this thing, Randy Moss, when he was available, doesn't sign. I'm just using names, big names. He didn't when he was a free. Tom Brady was a free. He didn't sign. The hot guys don't come to Jacksonville. I don't see that changing. It's been 30 years, not 3 years.
So you're losing out on free agency, and if you get drafted, you're here because you're drafted by the organization.
Yeah. You were forced to.
And they got done great in the draft. And that's part. See, I thought Peterson was a great hire. I really did. I did in the beginning.
Yeah.
But and I understand to a certain extent you've got to be a little bit more of a player's coach now.
Yeah.
But I think you and I would agree because we played sports at a high level. You can be too much of a player's coach, and there's no responsibility and accountability. So it's like
I agree. You can
I can do
that way.
I can do whatever I want, and it's going to be okay. And the fact that Peterson won early, was the demise.
But even looking at Peterson, they got him coming down.
Yeah, I mean,
they got him descending, not ascending. The Jaguars.
That's a good point, actually.
Whoever they hire this go around, the Jaguars, and it looks like it maybe Liam Cohen. They've got to get lucky. They've got to hit a home run, right? They've got to get lucky. and go, this guy turns into one. The Jaguars don't. The big franchises, the big boys, the Dallases of the world, they get to go pick the first pool of A coaches, right? And A free agents. They just don't come here. I just don't know if that's ever going to change. Ever going to change.
Yeah, and I looked at the candidates today that are coming in, I think, this week or the next 2 weeks or whatever.
I guess, coming back in. Salah, is he coming back in?
Salah's coming in.
And these are for their second go around, I think.
And they're all, well, Salah was obviously a head coach that didn't do. I think Flores still might be in the mix. Now, Flores would actually be a really good hire.
Yeah.
And I think that,
when does this end? Does somebody get hired here in the next couple of weeks?
It's going to have to.
It won't go.
Because the only reason Ben Johnson gets hired so quickly is because the Lions lost. So would it take 48 hours for them to go?
I had heard that
you're our guy.
I had heard, I don't know if this is true or not, maybe you heard it, that he obviously Zoomed with the ownership of the Bears, but he never had an in-person. He was too busy. Never had an in-person.
No.
How about that?
That's true.
How about that? And I know you can do a lot with Zoom, but how about you offer a guy that type of job with that type of money and you never did this? Right? I mean,
I think you and I are probably both old school on this. I want to sit down and have a conversation with you face to face, look you in the eye, see what your expressions are. It is going to be hard, and I think that you're going to start seeing with the Ben Johnson announcement, you're going to see a flurry of, we got to get this done now. If that's our guy, we got to go get our guy.
By the way, we're this is why I love our viewers. We're talking about the Jaguars and their head coach and different openings and different coaches and this and that. And our boy Elijah, just a left hook, just roundabout says, I'm going to punch Trevor Lawrence right in the face and say, Lawrence is trash. We haven't even been talking about me. Hey, what the hell? Hey, my man Elijah's out there somewhere going, I'm cold. I'm a Jaguar fan. I'm tired of watching these other teams in the playoff. I'm going to take a roundhouse at Trevor Lawrence.
Can you?
Hey, and Lawrence is somewhere. Aren't they about to have a baby, or did they have a baby or something? Lawrence,
I don't think they have yet, but he's about to be a father.
Poor Trevor right now is messing around. He's probably at a baby store with wifey looking at pink and blue stuff.
Wanting to go home and build a fire in his fireplace.
And then he went like this about 20 minutes. Ow.
It's kind of like
what the hell was that? Trevor,
like a voodoo doll.
Yes, he went. Trevor, that was Elijah. Meet Elijah.
So how do you all right, Elijah, you make a good point, but how much of the frustration and responsibility falls on Trevor? I get it. He's a first round pick. You're thrown right into the thrust. He's not been developed.
Yeah, and look at that offensive line. God,
it's porous.
God, what was it? The free agency opened up April, May, and Jaguars go out and they get their lines of scrimmage have been miserable. They go out and get.
If your line of scrimmage is terrible, you can't run the football.
And they go
running
out,
the football establishes the pass, and
they went out. And I get it. You can't force a free. You can't grab their hand and go, sign. You're coming here. Here's what we're paying you. I get it. And again, the Jaguars don't get to pick the A-list.
No.
But they go out miserable lines of scrimmage coming into the season in the offseason free agency. They go out and sign the center, Mitch Morse, or whatever, Micah Morse, Morse, the guy from Buffalo, and they go out and sign Eric Armstead on the defensive line. Both guys, 30, 31 years old, 10-year veteran with tired 10-year legs.
Broken, yeah.
And then you looked at Buffalo, and I didn't fall for it. I call it the fluffy local Jaguar media. They always see the goal. I think it sets the fan up a lot of times. But like Morse, the guy from Buffalo, the other thing that stood out to me I went, wait a minute, guys. You guys are signing this guy and going to plug him at the center, and he's going to fix. I go, wait a minute. He's coming from the Buffalo Bills. And I don't think anybody would disagree. The last 2 years, this year, and probably the next 2 years or so, Buffalo's in a Super Bowl window. And they know that.
Yeah.
The last thing a team right in the middle of their Super Bowl window, and they go up and close, right? The window's closed. Mm-hmm. The last thing the Bills would have done would let a quality center go.
Yeah.
But they let that guy go. To me, that was red flag.
Who's
red flag?
That's the quarterback
flag.
of your line.
Yes. But the local and Eric Armstead, I'll never forget the offseason. The media, local, fluffy Jaguar media, and they're my buddies. I know them all, but I always pick at them because I think they get lazy in the offseason, and everything's going to be great. It's great. Jaguars are great. They're going to win 10 games, 11 games. When Jacksonville signed Gabe Davis last year, 9 out of 10 of the fluffy Jaguar local media guys, this is the greatest. This is unbelievable. You'd have thought they signed the love child of Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin, right?
Yeah.
And I went, Gabe Davis? There are a million Gabe Davises in the league. And guess what? Gabe Davis was Gabe Davis.
Yeah. What about how much they paid Christian Kirk?
Boy, he's a tough decision, too. What do you do with a guy? And
is he a number one? Is he a number one?
Well, where I'm going is the injuries, back-to-back years. How much faith can you put? And I get it. You can't say, well, we're not going to sign him because he's going to get injured again. It's tough. But this guy's pushing 30, has been missed the second half of the last 2 years. What do you do with him?
Yeah.
What do you do with him, man? I don't know.
You got Brian Thomas Jr. What a great year he had.
Yeah.
Right? That's your rookie. That's a good draft pick, actually.
Yeah, that was
a great pick.
That was a great pick. Great pick.
ETN, what are you going to do? You haven't figured out how to use him.
Yeah.
And he's,
at
the running back position, you know what the shelf life is there.
Yeah.
Right? The average tenure of running backs is 4 years in the NFL. So
Evan Ingram banged up and pushing 30.
Yeah.
The really good franchises, you'll remember this. I'll give you an example. The really good franchises, number one, Kansas City knows what the hell they're doing. Duh. But when they get injuries, their front office is as good as their offense and defense. Their front office is really good. When Kareem Hunt, when Pacheco goes down, they know Hunt's out there. He had a little trouble and all, but they go get him and plug him in. They go get DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
They go get him. His career's resurrected. They're good at that. The other franchise I'll use, do you remember way back, the 49ers had such a great franchise with Bill Walsh and Seifert. They were seamless. They would go out. They'd have their core players. Then they'd go out and sign aging star, plug in these guys, and then they'd win a Super Bowl or make a deep run. 2 weeks after the season ends, they cut this guy, and this guy.
Yeah.
Because they know what they're doing. They go, that guy's shelf life. And you go, damn, he was an integral part. Well, he was 34. He did play middle linebacker like a, but they said, we got our year out of this guy.
Yeah.
They had a good, the front
Belichick was good at that,
he
too.
was good at that, too.
They got rid of him, right?
They'd get rid of that slot guy and get the next slot guy.
Yeah.
The little guy, this guy.
Now,
this guy?
all of the examples that we're talking about, there was one commonality.
What's that?
All-pro quarterback.
Okay.
San Francisco went from...
Elijah's back in the game.
Oh, he is?
Elijah's back in the game. You just brought him back in the game.
Did he bring another haymaker?
No, he's going, this way I wanted to punch him in the nose. Elijah, you're back in the game, Elijah. Hang tight. You're going in.
I'm glad I could help.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, though.
Yeah. I mean, she went from Montana to Steve Young. Tom Brady did it for 100 years.
Hey, I know I'm bouncing. We've got a few minutes, so we're going to take this to the top of the hour. And you're staying on, right?
Yes, I'm good.
I threw this to Terry Norvelle. I like to think that I get some talking points, maybe that people don't. We have this talking point. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. I brought this up a week or so ago. The conventional talk is we're going to Deion and Shedeur Sanders. And the conventional talk is Deion, the NFL's flirting with him. It looks like Jerry's flirting with him a little bit. And there's conventional thinking is if Deion wants to go to the NFL, package deal. Somehow work it out. Somehow, even if you don't have a huge pick at the top, find some collateral, put a deal. Okay, so that's been – so I stepped back a week or so ago and threw this out, and I mean it. If you are Shedeur Sanders, and I give him – I put – here's your drink, Shedeur, and there's some truth serum in it. You got to drink it. Truth serum. If you're Shedeur Sanders, you love your dad, I'm sure. Seem like they've got a great relationship. Yeah. He and Shedeur, Deion and Shedeur. You give him truth serum, and you go, Shedeur, do you want to play in the National Football League? That is the grown-up ass league that you can play in. Those are men. That's a profession. Do you want to play for your dad in the NFL? Do you want to go in the locker room and now playing for your dad in the NFL? Very rare. I can't think of anybody that's ever done that. Playing for their dad.
Might have been a Shula along the way.
Shedeur Sanders is now basically a grown man, right? He's found his industry, professional football at the highest level in the world, the NFL.
Yep.
Do you want to play for your dad? And playing for your dad in the NFL is great when it's going good. The NFL is built to do this.
Yeah.
How's that locker room going to be? How fun is that locker room going to be when you've lost 4 in a row and you've thrown picks and your teammate, hey, he's not going to take his boy out.
Yeah.
Hey, daddy boy. I don't think it would be a good move to play for your dad in the NFL. High school's one thing. College is okay. And we saw how that happened. The NFL is, you're supposed to be a grown man.
Yeah.
Do you want to play for your daddy in the NFL? I think it'd be an awkward dynamic for Shedeur. Awkward.
If it works, it's great. If it doesn't, it's terrible.
But the NFL,
but to your point,
it
it's
doesn't always work for long. The NFL's built for this.
No, and then
ups and downs.
And you've always talked about college football. It's a 3 to 4 year cycle.
Yeah.
So if it's not going to work, it's not going to work.
At least you're cycled.
Yeah. And then
cycled.
you phase out and you move on or whatever.
But if you're Shedeur Sanders, he played 4 years in college. So Shedeur's 22, 23 years old. He's a man.
Yeah.
He's a man. He's ready to, he doesn't live in the same house as Deion, right? I mean, he's going to go have his own house and maybe get married soon, or he's a grown man. Do you want to play in the NFL under your daddy's tutelage? I don't think that's the best thing to do.
And Deion's trying to do the 3-headed monster thing. His 2 sons and then Travis Hunter. And it's like, those 3 are not going to end up on the same team. I'm sorry. This is not going to happen. And
I don't know, man. If you're Shedeur, do you want to play for your father in the college? Is as high as I would want to play for my father.
And that's even a
high school certainly. High school, I can see it. You're still a minor, and
Well, that and it is Deion Sanders, but then now you get to college and you start evolving into a man, and it's like, well, hang on a second here. I could figure some stuff out. In high school, I'm going to do what I'm told.
And just frankly, no matter how close your relationship is, if you are Shedeur Sanders and you're on the same NFL team that your dad's the coach, love them or not, that's too much time together with a family member.
Yeah.
My God. Right? I mean, do you want that?
No. How much film do you have to watch with him? I mean, I don't know the answer to that, but that adds to the practice time, the game time, and and you have to treat him
I'm glad
like
you said
anyone
that.
else.
What if he throws 3 picks in 3 games in a row? You got to sit him down.
Yeah.
I mean, because you at least at that level, you've got another guy getting paid. You've almost got to let him try. At the college level, okay, there may be, there's a huge, we got to ride with this guy because this guy, the college
big drop
guy,
off or whatever.
But man, I don't know if it would be the best thing for Shedeur to play for Deion. And I would say that about any son, father son.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of what would be a good example. It's already rare that Deion has done a great job. What he's done for Colorado, just marketing wise, he's blown that place up. Boulder, he's blown it up. But is he worthy to be an NFL coach right now?
The NFL, though, they take flyers on a lot of guys.
We'll transition with this. The hottest guy right now in college, and I would do this if I was him, is Ryan Day. Won the Natty and said, I'm peacing out.
Yeah.
I'm going to the NFL.
And he's
you want to death threat me over Michigan?
Both of those coaches have the makeup, the CEO type NFL. I think Marcus Freeman has got the makeup to go to the next level. Whereas a Kirby Smart, as successful, he's a college guy. I don't think his approach would translate.
His rah-rah.
But you look at Day last night, good point, and Marcus Freeman. They are more buttoned down CEO. You could see them leading men.
Yeah.
and no knock at Kirby, but Kirby's a college guy. I don't see Kirby, his rah-rah stuff, working on that 31-year-old all-pro defensive end times 20 in the locker room.
No, who wants to do his stuff and then
Yeah. That's a good point about Ryan Day. If you're Ryan Day, you say, I gave you one.
Adios.
I'm now in your Hall of Fame. You know, his record is ungodly.
It's insane.
It's 71 and
It's 70 and 10.
or
He's
something.
70 and 10
70 and
with a natty.
with a natty.
Oh, but you've lost to Michigan
and
4 times.
What? 22 hours ago, that wasn't good enough for Buckeye Nation.
Isn't that crazy?
Because it didn't have the
Yeah.
one in the natty column, right?
I wonder.
70 and 10.
I wonder if he loses last night. Did they run him out of town?
Because
Not the university.
Yeah, but the fan.
But you got to reach a point where you're like,
Because
you know what?
that was, if that had happened, don't mean to cut you off. If that had happened last night, Notre Dame won that game. Notre Dame was nearly a double-digit underdog. That would have been the Buckeye fan would have said, "This got beat by." It closed at 8.5 or whatever.
Yeah, I had it at 9.
Yeah, it was up high
Yeah.
to start. So that would have been that's a big upset, in a championship game. That many points, huh? Interesting. Take a break. 1 hour down,
All right.
1 to go. I've got some fun sports history I want to get to. We may take an early peek at way too early college football top 25. They're already out. Ohio State's on top of it, by the way. We'll take an early look at
They
that.
already did the end of year finish today, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah. A couple other things, though. We'll have some sports history. It'll be fun. On the other side, we'll all learn. Patrick, I'm sorry, you're not Patrick Young, are you? Are you Pat? Can I call you Pat?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Trent.
Not like Pat on Saturday Night Live, though.
No,
right?
no.
That Pat.
And, Trivia Pat comes in, and we got
That's
Pat,
stupid, Pat.
and we got Trent, and I'm going to call
I'll just
Pat.
go by Trent. Yeah,
Can I just call you Trent?
yeah.
Okay.
You can even call me Lefty.
Okay, Leslie. We're back after this quick timeout. 1 hour down, 1 to go. Don't go anywhere. It's cold. Just hang out and enjoy this show, the Young and Norvelle Show, right here on Action Sports Jacks.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
And there you have it, the second half kickoff, a Tuesday edition. We are live in the heart of Mandarin. Hurricane going to Creek, Trenton, Torsia, Terry, Norvelle. Glad you're with us here. The Buckeyes, we're looking up on the TV here, because arriving back in Columbus, victorious. I think it's their 9th national title. I think I saw 9.
Okay. I was thinking 7, but I mean,
that?
it's still a lot.
How about that? So Buckeyes come back, and we broke that game down quite a bit. We can get back to it.
Did you? By the way, did you see the final rankings came out end of season, but then they did it by conference?
How did it break down?
You want to make a lot of people mad?
Go ahead.
You and I as homers?
Go ahead.
SEC had 7 teams in the top 25.
Ouch.
And they led.
And consider it a down year. Right.
In a down year. So I have it right here.
In a down year.
SEC with 7, Big 10 with 5, ACC 4, Big 12 4, AAC 2.
Gotcha.
Mountain West 2, and Independent 1.
There you go. There you go.
Which was obviously Notre Dame, but
yeah,
I just thought I'd throw that out there because it's just gonna
in a down year.
It's gonna make somebody mad.
Hey, you got to tip your hat though. The Big 10 back-to-back national titles now. Michigan,
That's impressive.
And Ohio State and Penn State was pretty. Penn State was there. I think Penn State gets in their own way a lot of times. When I watch them play, they'll be running the ball and they'll get away from it and all.
So since you mentioned that, what's your take on James Franklin?
Oh, he's heading down that Ryan.
He's not big game James.
Yeah, no, he's heading down that Ryan. Ohio State coach.
Ryan Day.
He's heading down that path. He's got a gaudy record, his win-loss record.
Yeah.
But Ryan Day has won more of the big games, but he couldn't quite get the big game until last night. Franklin hasn't won enough of his record's gaudy, but he just can't swing consistently with Michigan and Ohio State. And if you can't do that, you're not going to knock one of them off, and you're not going to, right?
Yeah, and what always raises its ugly head, how are you against top 5, top 10 teams?
And he's miserable.
And he's got one win, I think.
And he's
James Franklin.
Yeah.
One win versus.
He's miserable. They were good this year. I mean, I watched them.
No, they were solid.
I caught them once or twice like I do during the regular season, pretty hardcore. And then they were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they got in their own way a lot. And I've always thought that when I watch James Franklin teams, I don't love the way there's times they're dominating on offense and they'll get away from it. I think they cause a lot of their own problems.
And they couldn't win it with Saquon Barkley and McSorley.
Good Lord. Good Lord. All right, I want to get some this date in sports history just to kind of give us some perspective. I like bouncing around. I got a few. How about this? And this kind of gives you an idea of how long Jacksonville wanted an NFL franchise and how long now for a couple of decades they wanted it and had no shot. But they were in the loop always. They were in the loop, trying to get in the loop. Late 80s, Rick Callett and the boys kind of started knocking on the door. They got opportunities, made pitches, and then things fell when Weaver and the ownership group. Remember the ownership group in St. Louis dropped the ball? They would have gotten this franchise. They dropped the ball And so anyway, but how about this? This date, sports history, 1968, the AFL. In 68, there was still an AFL, and they would play the Super Bowl, and the Jets were the first AFL team to win. They had the big upset on the Colts, year 3, Joe Namath. The AFL in 1968 had their All-Star game in the Gator Bowl. Jacksonville, Florida, the Gator Bowl. Your MVP that day, the AFL All-Star game, one of your MVPs was named Joe Namath. But the old Gator Bowl hosted, and the old Gator Bowl hosted a couple of those AFL All-Stars. And then the AFL merged, obviously, with the NFL. But how about that? 1968, some guy named Joe Namath, the AFL Stars, played their All-Star game here in the Gator Bowl, the old Gator Bowl. And some guys, they were bringing that game just say, hey, maybe one day we didn't have to call the NFL. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. This date, 1979, and I'm going to use you're old like me. You'll remember the game. If you went to some historians and looked at go to some NFL historians and say, rank the 5 best Super Bowls of all time. This could be number 1. This would get some number 1 votes. This date, 1979, an incredible. I remember watching it as a youngster. Incredible Super Bowl. Steelers 35, Cowboys 31 in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah,
great game. And the two Super Bowls that the Steelers Cowboys met up in the 70s, Steelers won them both. Great games, great matchup, great drama, great storylines. Do you remember that game?
Oh yeah, that was like the Drew Pearson, Tony Dorsett, Roger Staubach. And then you had Bradshaw, Stallworth.
Oh, man.
Who was the other guy? The other receiver that Pittsburgh.
Lynn Swan made all the beautiful catches.
Franco Harris. I mean, the names were like, how did you get all those good players on one team?
Yeah. And the Steelers are such an interesting franchise. They've been around a long time.
Yeah.
If you had the historians say, name the 5 greatest plays of all time, the immaculate reception where Franco picks the ball right off the turf and scores to knock off Oakland.
Still under review.
In 72. Do you realize that was in 1972? Playoff game.
Yeah.
Oakland was the visiting team. 3 Rivers, crazy play, bounds up in the air. Controversy to this day. Franco gets it, scores. You realize the Steelers have been around since like 1910. That was in 72. That was the first ever playoff win for the Steelers. They were that terrible.
I had no idea.
They just floundered for decades. That was their first one.
And Chuck Noll was the coach.
Chuck Noll was the coach. This date, sports history, 2018, and this will hurt Jag Nation. But on this date, back in 2018, the AFC Championship game was played in New England. Patriots 24, the Jaguars 20. And what was that? The bad call. Jaguar fans say it was Miles. What's his name? Didn't step out of bounds, but
Miles Jack was not down
or whatever. They called him down, but they don't.
They said he was not.
Yeah.
Did Brady admit that? By the way, I think he might have said
he might have
5 years later or whatever.
Thanks,
well, it
Tom.
doesn't matter at this point.
Tom, you should have been like a golfer and said, "Wait a minute."
Hey, Tommy, you didn't step up and say, "Hang on a second."
Golf rules.
He moved his ball.
Yeah. Golf rules. We're going to say that he wasn't down, and they should get a touchdown. But that's a bittersweet one today. This date, 2018.
Just think what that would have done to the organization.
You go to the Super Bowl.
If you win.
You go to the Super
Even
Bowl.
if you don't win it, you win.
What are the Jaguars now? They're one of about 5 that have never made it, like Cleveland, Jacksonville, the modern Super Bowl.
Now that you bring this
Detroit,
up, because I've been banging this drum for a couple weeks now.
I know you're a drummer.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I'm like banging him in anger.
Okay. Fair
or
enough.
beating the table, whatever you want to call it. Why do the same organizations win year over year? See Steelers.
Yeah.
See Chiefs.
Front office.
See Ravens.
I think front office is, obviously they got good players, but the front office gets them the ammunition.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then the same teams. Like I grew up in Miami, so I'm an avid Fins fan.
Sure.
Lived in Jacksonville for 18 years, so I'm definitely a Jags fan.
Sure.
But those two organizations, not good.
And upper management question marks. I don't think
both of them, by the way.
I don't think the ownership here has been terribly. You know, Kahn hasn't made his big hires right, but I think Kahn's a decent owner fiscally. Weaver seemed to make some pretty good hires, right?
Yeah.
But that whole Steve Ross and all that in Miami, I know the Miami fans, and you're one of them. The Miami fans that I know always are complaining about the front office.
Can the owner fire himself? I throw that out on Twitter all the time, or X all the time. I'm like, can an owner fire himself?
It's the damnedest thing with Kahn, though, because nobody's going to argue in just about every room that Shad Khan, as an adult, is ever in, he's the richest man in the room. In just about every room he ever walks into as an adult, when it comes to auto parts, he's the smartest man in the room when it comes to automobile parts. Money, auto parts. But my little pea brain, I'll argue until the cows come home. I could run the football team down there better than Shad Khan. He doesn't have good football organization acumen. Do you remember we went through? I don't think you were on it. Khan has made 8 major hires. One of them, he retained the guy, but I'm going to call that a hire. He's made 8 major and has hit none of them. He's flopped. He 3 general managers. He kept Gene Smith, who was a disaster. Shouldn't have kept him. He was a terrible, didn't know what he was doing. He hired Caldwell, and he hired Balky. Disaster, general manager. So that's his 3 general managers. Malarkey, we have this list. Malarkey, I don't know if I got the order. Bradley, Malarkey, Peterson, Meyer,
Marone,
and
throw
Marone.
Marone in there.
There's his 5 hires.
Yep.
Marone, Malarkey, Peterson, Bradley, and Meyer.
Because he didn't hire Del Rio, right?
Nope.
That was
Nope.
That was Weaver.
Coughlin, Del Rio, Weaver. Those are his 8 major football hires. 0 for 8.
Yeah.
Not even close. 0 for 8. That's Shad Khan. Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
That and is that Shad? And we don't know this. We can speculate. Is that Shad Khan making the wrong, or is he going to the wrong bounce off people?
See,
or is it a combination? I don't know.
I think it's more the latter, but I also think it might be a combination because, admittedly, he says, I don't really know this. I don't know the game. And many of those owners don't. They just have the money to go dabble in.
But he's such a smart guy. He's got to know. Doesn't he have to do some self-reflection? And at what point does a smart guy, and he's a smart guy, does he not go, I need to turn this over to somebody?
Well, let me ask you a question.
I need to turn this over
to somebody. Let me ask you a question. As a business person, if the value of your investment is rising,
I know.
Do you care?
I know. And we've talked about that. And I always have to say, because the comeback fan goes, well, Terry, you're saying he doesn't know what he's doing. He's gone from $740 million to $4 billion. We're not talking about the investment.
We're not, but that's all he cares about.
And the reason we're not talking about it, the industry known as the NFL, it's hard to get in. There's only 32 get-ins, and they don't open up very often. It's hard to get in, and it's hard to have enough money to get in. But if you can get in that club, you can't not make money. The NFL is almost a guarantee. You can't not make money in the NFL.
It's a lead pipe lock investment.
But
you got to.
They print money.
You got to have a lot of money though to get into it. I don't know the answer. I think he hasn't made good decisions. And then when you do it, like, who has he surrounded himself with? If organizations are worth this much money, and as an owner you have this much money, why don't you hire more advisors?
Well, does he think he's swinging and missing? He's got to know that he swings and misses.
Well, track record speaks for itself.
You
can't.
How many strikeouts before he says, I need help? Isn't asking for help sometimes the most mature thing you can do in life?
Put it into baseball terms. He's batting 0.
He's 0 for 8. He's 0 for 8.
With
All right, let's. I want to hit a couple more things. We're going to do some trivia at the bottom of the hour. My last this date in sports history. How about this? 2019. This date in history. And this speaks to the NBA. We don't talk about NBA, but there's a big argument now. Has the NBA gone to nothing more than a game of horse? It's a 3-point shooting game. Shaquille O'Neal, there's not a whole lot of inside anymore. It's all great, and there's great shooters.
Yeah.
Along those lines, this date, 2019, Klay Thompson. Remember, he was the guy that used to run with Curry when they were great, and they could both shoot lights out. This date, 2019, Klay Thompson hit his first 10 3-point shots
ever taken.
Of a game. Opening the game, 10 for 10, and that line's 23.9. That's a deep line. The guys can shoot, but there's real concern, and that Commissioner Silver has even said they're going to look into. Is it time? The NBA has turned into everybody can shoot, and all it is a camp behind the line. It's a long distance shooting contest. It's a game of horse. It looks like now.
Yeah,
is that good for the game though? I don't know.
I transitioned from a track meet. Remember when it was a track meet for a few years, where you just got you got the athlete that can jump out of the gym,
absolutely,
but can't make a free throw. You got the 7-foot guy that like Shaq.
Well, you used to dump it down. Basketball used to be inside out. You would try to come down, get the closest shot you could, dump it in. If he didn't have something, pass it out.
But
that's gone.
No, I know.
It's drive, kick out, shoot, or if you don't get cut, drive to the basket.
And they started the hack-a-shack, remember?
Yeah.
Because the guy couldn't shoot a free throw. It's like once they dump it down, hammer him, put him on the line. No, you make a good point. It's like even if you watch the NBA All-Star game and the score ends up being 172 to
they had one game that was 200 something.
Yeah, I mean it's
that's like the outdoor park at Lackawanna Park or something.
Might as well be the Harlem Globetrotters at that point.
I want to get a couple Gator things in, and we could probably later on in the week get deeper into this, but I want to throw some things out. Florida, they had a backup quarterback through the portal that didn't quite sign, and he bolted. So Florida needs a backup quarterback, an insurance guy. They got a good guy. They got a guy now, and I think he signed. Harrison Bailey. I remember this kid, 4-star recruit, signed with Tennessee several years ago, and didn't work out. He's on his 4th school. He's gone, but he was a 4-star recruit. I remember.
Yeah.
But this could be good news for Florida as insurance at quarterback. 4-star out of Marietta, signed with Tennessee, played in 6 games. He actually in 2020 had one start against Florida. He was playing for Tennessee at the time. He was 14 for 21 with a touchdown in a 31-19 Florida win when he played for Tennessee. So he had a little bit. He threw for 578 yards in that abbreviated season. Went to UNLV. Went to Louisville. He came from Louisville. He played at Louisville this past year. He backed up the quarterback at Louisville who's got a shot at the NFL. The quarterback at Louisville this bowl season opted out. So Harrison Bailey played the entire game. Louisville played Washington this year in their bowl game. He played the whole game. He threw for 164 yards, 3 touchdowns in a 1-point win over Washington. So career-wise, and this is not too bad for your backup if you need to send the guy in. So Florida looks like their backup quarterback. He's 23 years old. So he's been around and been to all the big stadiums, hadn't played a ton. 6'5", 225. He's played in 18 college games, either started or played in his career. 4 starts, 2-2 record. He's 108 of 171, so he's thrown almost 200 Division I passes, 63%, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It's not bad for a backup guy.
No,
and it's a one and done. He knows he's not here to be the starting quarterback at Florida. Not bad.
So that's the key right there.
Yeah.
He's not here to be the starting quarterback because look what's happening now. If you're not playing, I'll go to this. Derrick Henry sat for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening anymore. So if you come in as a 4-star quarterback and you're not playing right away, I'm out.
I just want to get that out.
But to your point, if you come in and say, I want to be a backup, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And if my guy goes down, plug me in.
Yeah, and maybe he can play. Maybe he can show somebody
It's
something.
a lost art.
Maybe he can play. Maybe he can show somebody something. Maybe he can get into a camp as a free agent. Or maybe he wants to be a coach. Maybe he just wants to play.
Yeah.
As we go to break, I want to throw this out. And this is a discussion for another day. But there's a little rumor some pickup steam rumor. I don't know how. That's why it's called a rumor. There's some talk that people around the Florida program, football, think Billy Napier is content and not going to bring in an offensive coordinator. He said, "Hey, man, our stuff's starting to work." I think that'd be a disaster. But there's a rumor that, and if he's going to make a move, college football's over now. If you're wanting to, there was talk that maybe Chip Kelly, Napier was talking to. Got to let him play a season out.
Right.
Season's done now. And we're deep in January. Even guys that had contracts, a lot of times your contract may say you can't leave until January 15th. Well, I think, and we'll get into this in the offseason, I think it's a huge mistake if Billy Napier thinks he can still manage a game and manage the play calling. I think he struggles with game management mightily, and we've seen it. He's going into his 8th year as a head coach at the Division I level.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just going to magically come on. He struggles. He's overwhelmed in games. He has trouble. I don't think he has a good feel for offense. He's the guy. He decides a triple reverse double pass.
Oh, and you have to be a head coach and trust your coordinators. Here might be his fear. If I bring an offensive guy, if he brings a Chip Kelly in, I can tell you right now, he's going to fear for his job. Yeah, it's 100%.
I just hired my
100%.
replacement. All right, let's take a break here. Pushing 5:30. We got about a half hour to continue the Young and Norvelle show. I want to thank the good folks, Josh and Callie. They're wonderful to us here at Hurricane Joint Creek. Obviously, when you have the name Wing in your name, Hurricane Grill and Wing, you do wings well. Much more on the menu. Great burgers, great cheeseburgers, chicken sandwich, fajitas,
quesadilla, tacos, all of it.
So sometime, the group, one or two
fish
people,
dip, by the way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sometime when you come to a restaurant that specializes in a certain thing, everybody in your party may not want that thing. That's why you want to have a diverse menu. They've got that here, all served with a smile. It's got a real Cheers kind of fun family atmosphere here. I'm not being corny with that. It's a fun place here at the foot of the Jointon Creek Bridge in the heart of Mandarin. Let's come back. We'll wrap up the final half hour on a Tuesday. The Young and Norvelle show continues right here on Action Sports Jacks.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
As if we haven't been light and fun enough here on this show, which it's only sports what we're talking about. It should be fun. Time to have some more fun here. Which way do I got to go? We're going to try and squeeze in a third guy here. We do trivia the final half hour. Trenton Torsia, Terry
It is cold
here.
enough to snuggle up.
Yeah, it is. Easy. We're set up on Tuesday home. Glad to be at Hurricane Jewington Creek. A super job, as always, hosting the crowd here at Happy Hour in the heart of Mandarin. Before we get to some trivia, have some fun wrapping up this final half hour, let me make this announcement. I hope you get where I'm going. And the Oscar goes to, for last night's football game. How would you finish this if you heard the story or watched it? And the Oscar from last night's Ohio State Notre Dame game goes to Kurt Herbstreit. Did you see him crying on air? Did you see him crying on air?
I did.
He was.
I did.
Did
But
you hear
of all the things, no, I saw. Of all the things, I didn't think you were going there.
He was emotional. He was crying because of what Ryan Day and Ohio State fans put him through, and he was emotional and he felt for him. Come on, Herbie. Did you see him?
Well, you know, Herbie went through the same thing, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but
Okay,
I mean, Herbie. Come on, Herbie.
Did that just cement his homership?
I guess
To
so.
Ohio
Yeah,
State.
yeah.
I mean,
He's gotten hammered though, and it just and there happened to be a Kleenex box right there. Did you see he walked and grabbed a Kleenex and he dabbed his eyes because he was so emotional. He was so emotional. And the Oscar goes to Kurt Herbstreit. Real quick, a little bit serious before we get trivia. Pat sat down. He's just wandering around. I guess he's scared. You know, he's taking another loss here in a minute, I think. So, oh, there he is. All right, a little serious here. I'm all for people doing what they love as long as they can. And I hope I don't get pushing out to pasture too early. But I'm going to bring up Lee Corso and Dick Vitale. And Vitale's very much in the news now. But let's start with Corso. It's really been hard to watch him on game day the last several years. He's obviously lost his fastball. And I don't know if you saw, this was during the playoff, I believe it was. It was only 3 or 4 weeks ago. Corso is making his pick, and he's offset, and he comes on because he went offset and he dressed in Notre Dame gear. It might have been the Notre Dame Georgia game. Well, he comes up on the set. You know, that's the last segment, right? He comes up on in front of the set, and he had a Notre Dame leprechaun guy guiding him because his pick was at Notre Dame, and he was doing the Irish jig. Well, he starts doing the jig and literally loses his balance, and he starts to fall. And there's the desk where Reese and all the guys are at, and there's a table with 2 helmets. He's about to fall backwards. The guy helps him. And it got laughed off. He could have easily cracked his skull right there on live TV. Okay, that's one. And I love Corso, but I feel for him. It's been awkward to watch in the last 5 years. Dick Vitale, pushing 90 if he's not, 88, 87, what?
He's mid-80s.
Dick Vitale, the big news a week or so ago, he was scheduled to come back and call his first game in a couple of years. He's battled cancer.
Right.
Well,
2 bouts.
He had some type of relapse, so he didn't get to do it. He has battled 4 forms of cancer over the last 3.5 years. My God.
Yeah.
And I know he wants to, but my God, 4 forms of cancer over 3. My God, TV people and Vitale and Corso family members. My God. You see, and I don't want to be insensitive. Do what you love to do. I don't want to be pushed out into the pasture myself. But my God, Corso could have cracked his head bad.
Yeah. Yeah, because that stage is on a platform of stairs.
Yes.
And all you have to do.
He came up and was doing the Irish jig, and he started falling back into the set where he normally sits. But again, he was in there's the set. There was a table low that they put like Notre Dame and Georgia's helmet. And he was in front of that on the stage doing and he went back and he got caught.
Yeah.
At some point, my God. And then Vitale,
and they had
4 forms of cancer over 3.5 years.
I mean, I love the guy too. I remember when he first came onto the scene, he was
great for basketball.
Loud. It was fantastic for basketball.
Great
and
college basketball.
Great humanitarian.
Yeah.
He's done a ton for not only cancer, but other associations as well. And it's it is sad to see, but at some point somebody's got to say, listen, we have to keep you out of danger's way. That's the easiest way to say it.
It is.
Well, what do you mean by that? Well, if you want to be on for a 10-second, pick your team, we'll do it from your house.
Yeah. And the easiest way to get out of that is if the family stepped forward. That would help the networks.
But think about the egos of Lee Corso and Dick Vitale.
Yeah.
Family's not going to dictate what they do.
Yeah. Real quick, before we do some trivia, college basketball tonight, obviously in the SEC. Vanderbilt, who just knocked off Tennessee. Vanderbilt is at Bama. Bama, I hope you folks had a chance to watch Alabama, Kentucky Saturday at noon.
Huge.
Fun game.
Huge.
It was fun. So that's a decent game, even though Vandy's not ranked. That's tonight. Mississippi State, 14th in the nation. Mississippi State at Tennessee. Tennessee's scuffling right now. They're not playing real well. Tennessee's lost a couple recently. Mississippi State rolls into Knoxville tonight. And Tennessee, they have number 1 Auburn on Saturday. So Tennessee, if
are they looking ahead?
Well, if they don't win tonight, they're looking at a 3-game losing streak if they don't knock off number 1 Auburn. And then the other game, Missouri, a team that beat Florida pretty good. Missouri's now ranked 22nd. That helps the loss to Florida. Missouri at Texas. So some of the basketball from for tonight, of course, the SEC is a grind, man. They're going to get like 12 teams out of 16 into the tournament, it looks like.
It's unbelievable.
It
I
is.
mean, I get, obviously I'm a Mississippi State guy, but I watched them play out Auburn. Auburn beat them by 24 points, and they looked like, remember the old Phi Slamma Jamma?
Yeah. Well, Auburn, that was a tough night to be playing Auburn. That was their first game without their star Broom, and you knew that Pearl was going to have that team worked up. Hey, man, let's go show we're not just one. Their big center is the best player in the country right now. But he's out for a while. All right, let's see if hey Pat, what am I not paying you for? Just to stand there? Get over here. I'm not paying you not to just stand there and not do anything. What do we do? My daughter, is engaged. I can say that now. Man,
I did see that.
It took a while. I'm very excited. Very excited. Can you get over there, Pat?
Seems like a good guy too.
He is a good guy. Andrew and Kendall are now officially. Nobody can hear you. Just wandering about to spill beer. Trent, get your belly in.
I got to.
There we go. We got to squeeze 3 people in here, and you're about to squeeze me out. All right, I'm going to start some trivia off here just for fun. No, that's for you. Oh, for anybody. I don't care. He's on 6, I think. Say hi, 1, 2. Check. Hey, how do you sound?
I sound great.
How do you look?
That's
yeah. All right, so you got to you guys can see, we got to lead in, so everybody. All right, that's trivia, Pat. He goes 7 to about 8:30, right? Every Tuesday here.
Yeah.
About an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Trivia game?
I would get here now,
Yeah.
considering the weather.
Yeah. And what a fun place to be, though, inside. It's warm and cozy in here.
Know.
And, you know, this is a neighborhood. I'm sure a lot of people tonight will come in, and they're from right around here. They'll have to drive far. What a place to be. You know, you're going to be stuck in your house probably all day tomorrow, so get out tonight. For real. All right, I'm going to have some fun to get stuff started, and then he'll throw some. Tuesday trivia, the great funny movie Happy Gilmore, built around golf.
Okay.
In that movie, and it's a multiple choice, in that movie, Happy Gilmore, there was one very prominent golfer that had a role. Was it Arnold Palmer, Lee Trevino, or Jack Nicklaus? Multiple choice. One very famous golfer had a speaking role.
I know the answer.
Prominent.
I do too.
And I'll let you go first. Who do you think it was?
Oh, we don't collaborate? We just...
I don't care.
It was Lee Trevino.
Lee.
Yeah, okay, you got it. Lee Trevino. Wasn't Palmer. Wasn't Nicklaus. And remember the other cameo that was probably the funniest scene in the movie. The writer had the foresight to say, "Hey, I got an idea. Let's have Happy get in a fight with Bob Barker." Where did that come from? And that was hilarious, wasn't it?
And Bob Barker smoked him.
Yes, he did. And he said, "The price is wrong, blank." Remember?
Yeah.
The price is wrong.
They made that into like a little. They call them Funko Pops. They made it into a scene where they're throwing fists at each other.
Didn't he call him Bobby?
Bobby. Hey, at one point early in the fight, Sandler thought it was over, right? He got him, and Barker up from the dead, man. He said, it ain't over.
You know they're remaking it, or they're doing a second.
Don't do it.
I hope they don't try to
is Sandler
reenact that,
like beat certain scenes. Like
is Sandler gonna reenact his character?
Sandler is.
He's
yeah,
gonna,
Sandler
He's
is.
good,
They're actually
though,
bringing back the main. They're bringing back what's his name as
Shooter McGavin.
Shooter, and they're bringing back the blonde chick.
Yeah, I think that's her name, blonde chick.
Blonde chick. Yeah. She's no Sofia Vergara.
Well, no, not at all. All right, start firing some. He'll throw us some trivia. You and I will concur here and see if we can get a couple right anyway. We got about 20 minutes. Let me get this thing set up. Go ahead.
Gentlemen, sports.
Oh, boy. I hate
What is the width of a regulation NFL football field in feet?
Oh, come on. So
I've
100
already
yards
converted
is
it.
300.
No,
this
the
way.
width is 50.
Oh, the width is 53.
150 feet.
The width is 53 yards.
Now this is
53 or
this is
50?
inbounds.
What now?
This is inbounds.
So you're saying
50
how
yards
is that?
sideline to sideline.
Hold on.
Yeah.
From goal line to goal line, are you asking for
No,
that in
width.
feet?
Sideline to sideline.
Sideline to sideline.
Yeah.
It's 53 yards, and there's 3 feet to a yard. Can you do the math? I think
It's multiple choice. I can give you the choices.
Okay, go ahead.
It's 140 feet, 150, 160, or 180.
I've got it at 159, but maybe they rounded it. You said 160.
Are you sure it's 53?
Let's have differing answers. I'm going to say the 160 because I think it's 159. 53 times 3. What you could take?
I'm going 150.
160.
Yeah.
160.
So it's I get that right. I did 53 times 3 is 159. I guess there's a remainder right there.
You just wanted to be smarter than me. I mean, we
Can I
could
have
agreed.
that? I said 159 because
I know he does this all the time.
Yeah.
what do I do? What controversy? Hold on.
We could have collaborated.
Ben back in the studio. Ben, do I get that right? Ben. Forget it, Ben. You're
Never
out.
mind.
You're out, Ben. Ben's in there playing. What are you doing in there? Playing bunco or something? For God's sake.
Watching Happy Gilmore.
Watching
Fortnite.
Happy. Ben, 2 hours. I come to you one time. I need you one time, Ben. You're the oxygen guy, and I'm underwater like the old big thing, and I got a guy up the boat, right?
You just sunk, sir.
Hey, no, the air cable got all tangled, and Ben's up there playing cards or something. For God's sakes, Ben. All right.
Next question.
1-0. I'm taking that for us. We're 1-0. We are 1-0.
Okay, because
You had that look in your
I thought you
You had a
ostracized
deer
me.
in the headlight look in your eye. I knew you were like crazy.
What? This is a movies question.
Oh, movies.
What
This is
was-
you, man. This is you.
This
What was
is not
the-
me.
What was the name of the heavyweight champion that was Rocky's main opponent in the original 1976 Rocky movie?
Apollo Creed.
No, that wasn't the original.
Yeah, that was.
It was?
Yeah.
Carl
Apollo
Weathers
Creed.
was the he was
Apollo
the
Creed.
champion. He was the pre-champion, red, white, and blue America.
That was the original?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. You can't beat him, Rocky. Oh, we gotta fight him. We ain't got a dime. We don't have any food in the house. I gotta beat him. I gotta beat him. I gotta fight him.
Was that
We're gonna eat those. We're gonna eat those goldfish if we don't get any money.
I love this reenactment. You guys are spot on.
I gotta fight. Hey, I gotta fight. We got food in the house. We're gonna eat buckets. The dog, and we're gonna eat those 2 goldfish. I gotta fight him. I don't want you to fight him, Rocky. He's gonna hurt you. I don't care. I'm not real smart anyway. What you gonna do? Knock the sense out of me? I ain't got no more sense. I ain't got no money either.
We're 2-0.
Sorry. Oh yeah,
you're 2-0.
Whoa, 2-0. So take that, Ben. We'll do this without Ben.
All right.
I'm taking
Smart
credit
hands.
for that, by the way.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. You had it wrong.
I didn't
I
guess.
said
I
Apollo-
didn't guess. I just questioned.
I said Apollo Creed, and you go no.
Well, that was a snap answer. So you're either really right or really wrong on the snap answer.
Yes, exactly.
All right. TV. Before starring in Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston was known for his role as Hal in what TV show that ran from 2000
I know this one.
to 2006?
I know this one. We're just talking Malcolm in the Middle, right? He was the dad of Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah. Correct,
Boom.
Correct.
Boom.
Also remaking.
Wow.
By the way, Breaking Bad was a great,
Fantastic.
It was so intense, man, wasn't it? Great series.
Did you see the movie they did?
No.
On
Breaking Bad?
El Camino.
That was off that?
Yeah, they closed out.
Is it worth it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they closed out.
El Camino.
What's his name's character? His
Heisenberg or
assistant.
whatever.
His assistant.
Oh,
Jesse.
Jesse.
So at the end of the show,
Pinkman.
Jesse goes
Pinkman.
hiding or driving off.
Yeah.
And then the movie is what happens to Jesse
El Camino.
after.
I like it. All right. So
But it's a movie, not a series.
It's a movie.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
it's a movie designed to tie things up, tie the series
Yeah.
up, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No tied up here. We're 3-0, pal. 3-0.
All right,
You
love
know
it.
what? Right now, the rest of the night, you can call yourself a winner.
I'm riding your coattails.
We're
That's
riding, baby.
all I
We're
know.
riding.
Sports mascots.
Ugh.
Bully the Bulldog. That's yours, right? Bully the Bulldog.
Bully.
Thunderbug
Mississippi State. Oh.
is the official mascot of what NHL team?
Thunderbug. Probably bug as in the
Don't-
southern type team.
Don't overthink it though.
Thunder. Oklahoma City Thunder. That's NBA. Thunderbug. Bug. There's a clue in there somewhere. He's telling us. I don't know many. I'm not a hockey guy. We got to take a loss here. We just got to name a hockey team, an NHL.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
Is it American or Canadian?
Good question.
American.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Is it Canadian or American?
East Coast or West Coast?
Is it below Mason-Dixon line?
Eastern Conference. So
Eastern Conference. Okay.
It's Carolina
Boston.
Lightning.
I'm telling-
It's Florida Panthers. It's the
Okay, yeah, one of the Florida teams.
Atlanta.
Bugs.
No,
we got
it's
bugs down here. We got big bugs down here in Florida.
I've never heard of them. It's a
Thunder.
minor league team, right?
no, NHL.
Are you
NHL.
serious?
Hold on, Thunderbug. Could that be a lightning bug? And it's off of the Lightning. Who are the Lightning?
Tampa.
The Tampa. We're gonna go Tampa.
Yeah.
Gosh,
look
darn
at
it.
that.
I want to
Look at
apologize.
that, gentlemen.
Hold on. Let me write down 4-0 first. And I really want to apologize. This JU education, it goes everywhere with me. It's not that
Now you're
I'm
taking
not-
all the
I'm
credit
not-
for it.
I'm not bragging, but
Did I not talk him
I
through
can't
this?
put this
is a
education
team.
down.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see how I figured that out? Thunderbug, bug, lightning bug.
That was
lightning.
true collaboration right there.
I seem to be doing all the heavy lifting here on these
poetry.
collaborations.
That was poetry in motion.
Why is my back
Right.
hurting?
I
My
don't,
back is hurting.
I don't know. Why was I naming all the hockey teams?
All right. We're back to sports.
Here we go.
In which
hate sports.
U.S. state was the first PGA tournament of 2025 held?
Okay, let's
Name it. I'm sorry. Repeat.
the state.
So
First state.
the first state
this year's
of
golf.
of the PGA tournament.
Well, we're just talking aloud. They start in Hawaii, and then they swing West Coast, and then they swing right.
It's not a major, just an
Just
event.
the first
Just an
tournament.
event. Yep.
It's Hawaii.
Let's go Hawaii.
Has to be.
We're going Hawaii.
Yes.
5-0.
Yes.
By the way, great television show, Hawaii 5-0 back in the day.
Not the new one.
No, the new
I
one's
was
terrible.
about to say,
Hey,
remade it.
Didn't you love Jack Lord as McGarrett?
Loved it.
Book him, Dano. Dano, the helper.
Loved it.
You know, one of his big. He had a bunch of nemesis. One of the big nemesis was that bald guy from over in Asia. Wofat was his name. Remember Wofat? He'd roll in about every 12 episodes, and he'd just pitch a for about 48 minutes, and then Steve McGarrett would bring him in, cuff him, Dano.
All of it, right?
Book him, Dano,
Book
right
'em.
now.
Yep.
All right, we're 5-0. You got 6 minutes to try and get smart over there, Mr. Smart.
All right. Here we go.
Now he's going to go to calculus or something.
Ooh.
Don't do anything stupid.
Geography.
Oh, God.
That's
Nobody.
not my
geography's-
wheelhouse.
Geography's overrated.
Yeah.
Let's go
Which?
Hypotenuse triangle or whatever that thing is.
That's geography.
Hippopotamus triangle angle thing.
I see why you're on the radio.
Yeah, geography.
All right. Which of the 5
Take this one.
Great Lakes extends furthest south?
All right. Gosh darn it. Let's just talk some lakes here. Superior, Erie, Michigan, Lake Ontario. Is that one of them?
Yep.
Lake Ontario.
You know,
That's 4. What are there? 5 of them?
5.
Lake Okeechobee. That's pretty far south. Well, it's got to be Lake Okeechobee. That's way down there by Miami, right?
yeah.
Take a stab.
I'm going to say it's a trick question. I know it is because to me, the obvious answer is Lake Michigan.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
Well, you said that's the obvious answer, but you said you feel like it's a trick question.
I do. And I would say if I had to answer the trickery,
And you do.
Lake Superior.
Hang on, Trent. Hang on.
You have to know the answer. You threw the
I was
question out.
and then I was getting ready for more questions. It's Erie.
Okay, we'll take a loss on
Yeah.
that.
Erie.
Trent will take a loss on that. That's fine. Trent,
Ooh.
you take the loss on that.
Oh, thanks.
Look at this guy.
I got you. No, not only
He
did
went solo.
he rolled me under the bus.
No,
Oh,
no.
after you tapped me on the shoulder and
He
said,
went-
"You got
He
this."
went solo. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. We got time for a bunch more.
All right.
5-1, by the way. Trent.
We're-
We need to
we're-
go 4 corners. We need to stall this thing out,
Yeah, I
man.
agree.
We're back to sports.
Oh, sports. We hate sports.
How many hurdles are there in the men's 110-meter hurdles event?
That is hard.
Well, they're 10 meters apart. So
10?
11. It's 110.
Now,
Not 100.
there's a build up to the running.
Oh, okay.
And
Let's go with
and
10.
the end.
That's a hint.
Yeah, let's go 10 then.
And the end.
And in the end, Paul McCartney.
It's either 9 or 10, but I
Well, yeah, you pick it, 9 or 10. Pick it. Just pick it. Just pick the right one. Pick it and pick the right one. That's all
you
the play.
pick it.
Let's go with 9.
I like 9.
And 10. Son of a gun. That's okay. Hey, we're still 5-2. We've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. And I'll get him talking about something. He won't even know I'm stalling. Hey, Pat, how was your weekend? Did we talk about
Because
that?
that last hurdle, you have a finish. You have a start and a finish. That
Yeah, so don't think of it as like every 10 meters there's a hurdle. There's
Are they
110.
staggered exactly the
so
same
for
amount?
10 meters total, there's some running, and then you do
that's right.
the jumping.
You know what I think? Let me tell you what I think, guys. I think this question is under protest.
No.
Okay. Not. We lost it.
we could go run it.
5-2.
You would
Maybe this.
All right.
The single worst idea you've ever had today.
That's true.
5-2.
I'd pay to see that, but
the little hurdles.
as
I'm running right under them.
another sports question.
Sports question. We hate
As
sports,
stated
don't we?
by the USGA, what is the maximum number of golf clubs a player may carry in their bag
If I get this, you guys are going to say, "Man, this guy Terry."
for a round of golf?
This is a total layup.
I know this.
Slam dunk. I do know it.
I'm going to write mine down.
Okay.
Here, you write yours down right there. I'm not going to look. Okay. This is scientific. All right. Cover yours. Okay. On 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 14 we're going with.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes.
That was scientific right there, pal. You know what? That's teamwork right there.
That was.
14.
Until you get it wrong, Trent, and then
2 minutes.
And then it's my fault.
2 minutes.
Okay. Last
2 minutes.
last question.
All right.
Wait a minute. We'll see.
From the three major sports leagues of
Football, baseball.
MLB, NHL, and NBA.
NHL. MLB is bigger than that.
It's in there. MLB, NHL, and NBA. The only one that's not is NFL. That would make it too easy. What was the most recent Canadian-based sports team to win a championship?
That's a good question. I don't like it because I
That's a
don't know
great
it.
question.
But that is a good. And you didn't say the Grey Cup, thank God. You didn't say the CFL. So MLB, the last to win one of those. So
It's got to be.
Toronto's
It's got to be a
baseball.
hockey team.
It's got to be hockey, right?
It has to be.
It's got to be NHL. It's not baseball, right? Because Toronto is the only one.
Yeah,
That was in the way back with the Braves. So if MLB's out, we got 50 seconds. MLB's out.
Did Toronto Raptors?
Toronto Raptors. Go with it.
What a pull!
Whoa!
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Wow!
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you everybody out there. For say, that's my partner right there. You're back. You are back in my.
They had
grade.
Kawhi Leonard, by the way,
Everything you said on there.
Five. No.
as their MVP.
Yep.
Kawhi Leonard.
I thought you guys were going to say the Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Hey,
somebody.
6 and 3, 25 minutes. Real quick question, Pat. Did you bring any hard questions today?
Sir.
20
Next
seconds.
week. Next week.
Okay, there we go. Good job. That'll
Thank
wrap
you,
it up.
guys.
Want to thank
Love
our
it.
producer, Big Ben, for getting everything done. Been a fun show. We enjoyed it. We'll do it again tomorrow. We think with the weather, we may be on tomorrow, the Young and Norvelle show at 4 o'clock. Have a great, safe, warm Tuesday, everybody. Talk soon.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, And it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 14325.